building is proprietary. If you continue, I'll have to call the police.
You giving me a hard time? So please tell me why being a law-abiding citizen, like following the rules, you know, being respectful, I still get followed out by a cop. In the month of July, I knew I'd be going through some shit. See, Laura and I had tried to prepare ourselves for it, and we knew there was going to be a lot of family coming in. You have like the e-brake on and going the wrong way for the summer. And I don't know if you've ever had a family reunion or you've kind of ever prepared for anything like that. Extremely stressful. Definitely followed a 3-act narrative, and I was able to catch them in each of them, even though I showed up half late because of the cops. This season, I've really shared a lot of deeper things going on in my life, and I guess the biggest part of that is, you know, fear, like fear of sharing with the world, opening up, and I literally only have like change in my pocket, but I love like the get up and like the outfit, and you look like you have a story to tell. Do you like play like folk or?
Let me smoke this cigarette real quick, and then I'll play some.
Absolutely.
You want to film like a song or some shit?
Hell yeah, man. I started out vlogging, started out filming because it pretty much scared me. Like I was uncomfortable. It scared the shit out of me to, like, you know, just start talking openly in front of people. What I found, instead of it being like something that people are like, that weirdo, you'll get those. Most people are truly engaged. They want to understand what you're doing and what you're about. So the podcast was really our way for Laura and I to come together and overcome a lot of the stress that was going on. It was the first time we really ever collabed on anything other than parenting and, you know, life, all that. And it really opened up something in our relationship. We did the podcast, Am I in Love? And to hear her talk and hear like the conversations we were having back and forth, we couldn't even have those in our arguments in our regular day-to-days, but somehow the podcast opened that up. And so honestly, like the entire season, I met a lot of people. I did a lot of crazy things that I wouldn't have otherwise done unless I just pushed myself past, you know, points where I was uncomfortable and, you know, a bit fearful. So, woo! The thing about vlogging, the thing about going out, sometimes you plan out the things, sometimes you just do them. But the act of doing them, even if they're planned out, is enough to get you out and about. And that's what this season forced me to do. It forced me to step it up. And, what's up, Jacob? Pretty much throughout all of this, like, I discovered Laura anew. I discovered, like, with the podcast, I was able to really start to open up and understand her logic rather than trying to force. with everything, about to scratch my hand up, with everything, the 4th of July, like the whole month of July was a down low. Jacob, so they could see you. You gotta commit to the rain. You gotta commit to it.
Hey,
look at the phone's like all wet. But pretty much in all seriousness, like July was a complete mess. Like Laura and I were arguing nonstop back and forth, like drama between my family, drama between like her family, everything just, it was just a bad time. Like we were even with the podcast, we were arguing non-stop. After arguing for like what seemed like an entire month, we ended up coming up with the podcast Depression and Skeletons, which was a really tough one. It was a really tough one because, one, like when we started the entire podcast, we were arguing through it. Like we were like, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. But going through that, just like any argument, it allowed us to get over what we were going through and start to vent and start to relate. And what came of that podcast it's one of my favorites. Like it was deep, it was gritty, but I feel like a lot of people benefited from it.
Hey, check it. Hey, check it. Put the place up.
So I'm doing a docu about fear and pushing past doing things you're uncomfortable with and persevering through that and how that makes us a better person. 30 seconds, anything you've struggled with, that you've pushed past.
I'm gonna start it over.
So this was a really pivotal moment. After everything going awry, everything going wrong, I built a lot of strong relationships with family and with friends, and through that I was able to go to my mother's grave, which I haven't done in so long, with my sister, and really have like a moment.
Watch me, just follow every move, touch me, let me know you wanted to. Don't know what you need, but
nowadays all I do is shine, take a breath and ease my mind, yeah. She don't cry no more. She tell me that I get her high, cause an angel's supposed to fly. I ain't asking why no more. No.
By doing all of this, I was able to push through, learn new skills, develop new relationships with family members, go out on adventures with this guy, and just really do things I never in a million years would picture myself doing.
Oh, New Orleans to North Carolina. Oh, the one I've been searching to find. Oh, sweet Mary May. Oh, how you stayed on my mind. singing oh so sweet. Every time we get a little chance to meet, oh.
So a lot of people ask me why I do it. What's it for? And I kind of started the season talking about this a bit. And ultimately, the reason why I do it is because I'm afraid. So the reason I'm afraid, what I'm afraid of is forgetting, not remembering, not knowing, and just like valuable times with people that I love, years to come, I start to lose that in my mind. And that's been one of the things I've struggled with for all of my life. By vlogging, by capturing moments on an almost daily basis, it's allowed me to go back, not only for myself, but for my kids, for my kids, and even if Laura doesn't want to be in the vlog all the time, for her too. All right. Alrighty. So with that, how do you make a season finale? How do you do it? Well, you go out and you just do. YOLO. And YOLO! That's how I made this season finale. I got outside of my head. I thought about the hard things, the struggles that I had to overcome. I thought about the things that I had to deal with. And instead of like burying those inside, instead of those being disablers, I use those like 8 Mile, like 8 Mile, like Eminem, and use them to create this season.
I don't know. I hit the road and I found music, and that was about 5 years ago.
You found your love.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you didn't?
And it gave me like a new purpose because I was like real down in the dumps. So
absolutely, yeah, man. Like
and then it brought me away from a lot of the darkness that I was in. And now I play music, sad music, happy music, bittersweet music.
Do you think if you are in love with what you do, your passion, every day of your life?
I think it's my only thing.
So I challenge you to do something you're afraid of, something that just puts you out of your comfort zone, makes you just feel like you're gonna throw up, and do something that you've always wanted to do, but you're afraid to do, and see where that takes you. I wanna wish everyone a happy season finale, and let the actual police department know that I don't like getting stopped. All right, I promise this is like only super short, but I just met like 2 of the coolest guys in Mountain Energy. It had like a 10-minute conversation. Jacob's out here like, what the hell's going on? About the history of beards. See you guys on the next one. Peace!
To meet oh, sweet Mary, know what you been doing me. Almost let you go for that one year. I ought to go, but I just said so many tears. That friend of mine brought you back round. I was that deadly guy all over again.